Welcome to Outlaw Edge Blade Works. So I'm trying to get the shop truck all put together, and I pulled the carpet and stuff out because it was all wet and soggy and nasty, and look at that. You can walk through the floorboard and then you can see the daylight all the way to the concrete right there, and then all right here is all rotted out, and this is all rotted out. So I'm gonna go ahead and make all new patch panels for this thing and get them all built, and we'll go from there. And I got some aftermarket panels, which are these right here, but they're not even near being close to fit. And you can see these guys right here. But what I'll do is I'll get them all set up. I might have to clean them up and get the edges nice so that they fit real nice in here, so that when I weld in here it looks good. And then, you know, I'll put some little patches in here, and all this stuff just needs to be you know, pieces of metal welded in, cleaned up so the rust is out of here, welded in some metal, and then I'm gonna rubber coat everything before we put like carpeting and stuff, or like a rubber matting or whatever in it. But I'll have to jack up the cab and get this corner all set up the way it's supposed to be, you know, so that the cab's not flexing when you're going down the road. But I'll give you an update in a bit. Well, I don't want to bore you with all the, you know, plasma cutting, so I'll go ahead and get everything plasma cut out here and get the pieces set up, and then I'll start building the panels, and I'll show you where I'm going from there. Sorry about the lousy camera work, but that's all I got, man. So anyways, I got this cavity all cut out. And right here, I ground some spots because I'm going to put some straps that come down and weld to the top of this. And what that's going to do is this needs to be 5 1/4 inches down, but you can see where the rust is, there's nothing there. So I'm going to make a piece that comes down 5 1/4 right here. And I'll do that on both sides. That way I know this is perfectly level and whatever, because the truck is kind of just sitting on some jack stands right now. So I know the truck's not level. And I got this piece all set up. And I had to cut a bunch of it off and hammer it and move it around or whatever. And it fits right there, nice. And then I gotta make those pieces that are 5 1/4 right here. And you can see it sits in there perfect. And I'll get these spotted in there. That way it holds this from doing this. I don't want it to sag down and be welded in the wrong spot. And then this edge right here, I can go ahead and get this all welded on. And these will be holding here. And then I can start building this piece here. And as I do that, I'll film a little bit more. And then all these little spots in here, I'm going to patch them in and make new pieces for the floor. I could have made this piece. It would have been a lot easier than messing with this aftermarket crap, because it took me more time to fix it than it did just to make one. But I figured I'd try to save some time, but it kind of bit me in the ass. But I'll film some more in a bit. So I have it spot welded in, and I'm gonna throw a couple spots on there real quick, just to make sure it doesn't move around. And you want to bounce back and forth so you don't overheat the metal and warp it. And this looks really good. And then I want to check the reveal, which is underneath the door. I want to make sure this door closes and the body line still lines up. And for this old beater truck, that looks pretty good. So, I'm going to go ahead and start building all this piece here, and then I'll come back and film a little bit more for you guys. So now what I want to do is I want to come up here. There's rust here and there's rust here, and you can see it's coming up a little ways, and it's all the way over in here. So these are 1, 2, 3 blocks, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, and these are used for like machinist things, but they're so handy for other things. And if you want to get a nice clean line on something where it has a crisp edge, you can take your pencil or silver marker or whatever, and that's all I'm doing right here. Is I'm running it where it's at the right at the top of where I want to cut. I mean, right at the top of the floorboard here, and then I'm dropping it down so that I can follow this line all the way around, and then that way I can get a nice clean line, and then that way I know where to cut all the way around, and then I'll make that template will be nice and even all the way around. When I go to make the template in there to put that piece of metal in and weld it up, I won't have no problems trying to line it up and won't have a cut doing this. But really handy. And it's a good pencil holder. But I'm going to go ahead and get this piece cut out right here. And I'm going to finish marking it, get it cut out, and then I'll build that piece, get it spot welded in, and then show you what I'm doing from there. So I bent this piece real quick, just cut a piece of 4 inch by whatever this is, a foot or whatever it is. And I'm gonna piece these back in here, and the only reason I didn't put it right here is because there's a big brace that goes all the way across the body right here. And so I'm gonna make a piece for that, but I don't want to cut it out until this is up and down where it needs to go at 5 1/4 inches. And by doing this, I can get this spot welded on there, and then get it where I want it, and it should be pretty good. And a quick way to do this is if you have some magnets, some powerful magnets, just stick them on here when you're getting ready to weld, and then that way you can hold on to them. And I have the bigger welding magnets, but these small ones seem to work really good too though. All right, where's my stinger? Well, I'm not perfect. Obviously, I screwed up when I cut this. There's a fat gap in there that I'm gonna have to weld up. Well, that's better. That's not too bad. I like to build stuff out of junk too. And the other night I built these hammers, all these different body hammers, and they work awesome. And it didn't cost me anything. These were something that Michael from back in Nam ended up giving me, he gave me a whole box of them, and I just cut these claw hammers off and use them for body hammers, and they work great. No need to go spend, you know, $100 on a body hammer. Like this one was, if I remember correctly, it was like 30 or 40 bucks. And I'd rather just make something, you know, but it was fun doing it. But I'm gonna get this welded up and I'm gonna call it a night. So, but anyways, I appreciate you guys watching.